The Honorable Pravin Kumar Jagnat, Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, and Mrs. Kavita Jagnat, Her Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmu, President of the Republic of India, His Excellency the Vice President, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the State Banquet in honor of Her Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmu, President of the Republic of India, and our chief guest for the celebrations of the 56th anniversary of independence and the 32nd anniversary of the Republic of Mauritius. Under your leadership, Honorable Prime Minister, the special relationship between Mauritius and India has been further strengthened and broadened to encompass new avenues of cooperation. It is my honor and great pleasure to invite the Honorable Prime Minister for his address on this special occasion. Prime Minister.
Your Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the President of the Republic of India, Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, namaste. It is an honor and a great pleasure for me to extend a very warm welcome to Her Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmu and the distinguished Indian delegation. Your Excellency, हमारा देश के राष्ट्र दिवस में आपका स्वागत है. Your presence amongst us is not only an opportunity for you to celebrate with us the anniversary of our Independence Day and that of the Republic of Mauritius, but it also reflects the long-standing and close ties between our two countries. Your visit marks a milestone in the Mauritius-India relationship, forged by history, kingship, and shared values. During your short stay, you will be visiting a few places that are intricately linked with the history of our country, such as the Apravasi Ghat World Heritage Site, the Intercontinental Slavery Museum, and the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, which is the depository of the archives of all the Gimityas. Excellencies, distinguished guests, as we are celebrating our National Day, let me pay tribute to our ancestors from Africa, Asia, and Europe who have traced the path and laid the foundation of modern Mauritius. The indentured laborers from India were transported to our shores without any possession. They only carried their millennium culture and traditions in their hearts. At that time, the indentured laborers and the freed slaves played a most significant role and enabled our small, resourceless island to later emerge as a robust and successful economy. We are grateful to our forefathers who sacrificed a lot to make life better for us. The conditions of the Indian indentured laborers working in the sugarcane fields were so harsh that Mahatma Gandhi, who visited Mauritius in 1901, was deeply moved by their plight. He sent his envoy, Manilal Doctor, to Mauritius in 1907, and the latter campaigned for the upliftment of the downtrodden and deprived people. He promoted gender equality and empowered the masses through education and cultural activities. The bond between India and Mauritius has been strengthened over decades, mainly through increased people-to-people exchanges. Many young Mauritian students and professionals have benefited from scholarships generously offered under the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation and other programs. Likewise, a large number of Indian professionals, students, interns, and workers reside in Mauritius. Instruments and institutions like the Indo-Mauritius Joint Commission, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, the Cultural Agreement between India and Mauritius, and the World Hindi Secretariat have further strengthened our bonds. Our exceptional ties were evident at India's 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention held last year in Indore, and where Mauritius was represented by the second largest delegation. In January 2019, I was very privileged to have been the chief guest at the 15th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas in Varanasi. This strong attachment to our roots also explains why the consecration ceremony of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir in Ayodhya was celebrated with enthusiasm and fervor in Mauritius. At a time when the world is facing numerous challenges, we strongly believe that respect for international law and universal values are essential for a peaceful and prosperous world. Millennial India, as the largest democracy, can serve as a beacon for humanity. Allow me here to commend the visionary role of India, whose focus has now shifted from women development to women-led development. As Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji rightly said, I quote, "The progress of humanity is incomplete without the empowerment of women," unquote. Excellencies, distinguished guests, over the next 2 days, we will see the launching of projects and the signature of different agreements on multi-sectoral issues. These initiatives will deepen the partnership that exists between our two countries. Mauritius and India have a history of close cooperation in traditional fields such as culture and education. And in recent years, our collaboration has extended to newer sectors such as technology, healthcare, trade, financial services, renewable energy, and security. The Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement, which was signed with India in September 2022, is an innovative instrument which, coupled with the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, can provide access to African markets for Indian companies. Mauritius is playing a pivotal role in strengthening the India-Africa corridor. Currently, Mauritius is driving 90% of the investment from India into Africa. We are also creating the necessary ecosystem to boost trade and investment in the region. We are hopeful that trade will be further boosted with the introduction of the RuPay, India's digital payment connectivity, which I had the privilege to launch virtually with Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji a month ago. And earlier today, I was also privileged and honored to have been remitted my RuPay card by Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of India. I would like to express the gratitude of the government and the people of Mauritius for Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi's support and assistance in various developmental projects in Mauritius and the outer islands. These projects have made a real difference in people's lives, and I wish to mention specifically the Metro Express project and the newly inaugurated airstrip and jetty on Agaliga Island. As rightly highlighted by Sri Narendra Modi ji, India and Mauritius do share a super special relationship, and it is thanks to the able leadership and the vision of the Prime Minister of the Republic of India that this bond keeps on flourishing. The people of Mauritius will recall that India was among one of the first countries to assist Mauritius in its fight against COVID-19. Mauritius is also very privileged to be the first country to join the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Parijojana scheme, under which we will be provided with quality generic medicine at affordable prices. – 2023 was truly an exceptional year for the Mauritius-India relations. During India's memorable people-centric G20 presidency, Mauritius was invited as a special guest to the G20 for the first time. Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi voiced out the concerns of the Global South on issues of vital interest during India's presidency. The holding of the G20 Leaders Summit in New Delhi was an outstanding achievement, which has elevated both the status of India and that of the Global South. The forum has also provided Mauritius with a unique opportunity to highlight some key issues for small island developing states. The inclusion of the African Union as a full-fledged member of the G20 is a historic decision which will enable the voice and concerns of Africa and its people to be heard by the most powerful economies. I have conveyed to Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji our support in favor of the various laudable initiatives undertaken by India during its presidency, such as the call for the reform of multilateral financial institutions, the adoption of a Green Development Pact, and the creation of the Global Social Impact Fund to spread digital public infrastructure. As you are aware, Mauritius is pursuing a long-standing and relentless struggle to complete its decolonization process so that it can effectively exercise its sovereignty over the entirety of its territory, including the Chagos Archipelago. We are deeply grateful to India for its unflinching support to this struggle. As we strive to overcome current difficulties, Mauritius looks towards India as a valued partner in addressing global issues such as maritime security, climate change, economic disparities, and public health crisis. We are convinced that India will continue to stand by Mauritius in our common fight against illegal activities in the Indian Ocean, including drug trafficking, which is threatening the security and stability of our countries. I see this opportunity to extend an invitation to India and other like-minded partners to actively participate in the first ministerial conference on drug trafficking and substance abuse in the Western Indian Ocean, which will take place on the 25th of April this year. Excellencies, distinguished guests, let me reaffirm the commitment of Mauritius to nurturing the bonds of friendship with India. May our collaboration continue to flourish, bringing prosperity and well-being to the people of Mauritius and the people of Bharat. Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, aapka bahut bahut dhanyavad. Long live the enduring Mauritius-India friendship. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. It is now my honor and distinct privilege to invite Her Excellency Srimati Draupadi Murmu, President of the Republic of India, to address us on this momentous occasion. Excellency.
महामहिम प्रवीण कुमार जगन्नाथ, मॉरिशस गणराज्य के प्रधानमंत्री, और श्रीमती कविता जगन्नाथ, विशिष्ट अतिथिगण, देवियों और स्वजनों, नमस्कार।
Your Excellency Praveen Kumar Jagannath, Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, and Mrs. Kobita Jagannath, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar.
मॉरिशस के 56वें राष्ट्रीय दिवस समारोह में मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में भाग लेना और आज आप सबके साथ यहाँ होना मेरे लिए बड़ी खुशी की बात है। इस सम्मान के लिए मुझे और मेरे प्रतिनिधि मंडल को प्रदान किए गए स्वागत और उत्कृष्ट आतिथ्य के लिए 140 करोड़ से अधिक भारतीयों की ओर से मॉरिशस सरकार और यहाँ के लोगों को धन्यवाद।
I am truly delighted to participate as chief guest in the 56th National Day celebrations of Mauritius and to be here with you all this evening. On behalf of more than 1.4 billion Indians, I thank the government and people of Mauritius for this great honor and for the warm welcome and outstanding hospitality extended to me and my delegation.
अभी कुछ क्षण पहले स्टेट हाउस में राष्ट्रपति पृथ्वीराज सिंह रूपन के साथ मेरी बहुत सौहार्दपूर्ण बैठक हुई। वहाँ मेरी फर्स्ट लेडी श्रीमती संयुक्ता रूपन के साथ भी मुलाकात हुई। देवी और स्वजनों, भारत के इतिहास में पृथ्वीराज संयुक्ता की जोड़ी प्रसिद्ध है। यहाँ मॉरिशस में आते ही ऐसा एक और पृथ्वीराज संयुक्ता की जोड़ी को देखकर मैं बहुत प्रसन्न हूँ।
Just a few moments ago, I had a very warm meeting with President Prithviraj Singh Rupun at State House. There, I also met the First Lady, Mrs. Sanyukta Rupun. Ladies and gentlemen, Prithviraj and Sanyukta were a legendary couple in Indian history. It was wonderful to see yet another lovely Prithviraj and Sanyukta just on arriving here in Mauritius.
मॉरिशस उन पहले कुछ देशों में से एक है जहां मैं राष्ट्रपति के रूप में राज्य की यात्रा कर रही हूं। मैंने हिंद महासागर स्थित इस सुंदर द्वीप के बारे में कोई अच्छी बातें सुनी तो थी, लेकिन यहाँ कुछ ही घंटे बिताने के बाद मुझे महसूस हुआ है कि आपके देश को पैराडाइज आइलैंड क्यों कहा जाता है। आज मॉरिशस सही मायने में विकास, लोकतंत्र, विविधता और गतिशीलता का एक चमकता हुआ प्रतीक है।
Mauritius is one of the first few countries that I am visiting on a state visit since assuming office as president. I had heard wonderful things about this beautiful country in the heart of the Indian Ocean, And though I have been here for just a few hours, I can see for myself why your country is called Paradise Island. Today, Mauritius is truly a shining beacon of development, democracy, diversity, and dynamism.
महामहिम देवियों और स्वजनों, मॉरिशस जिस असाधारण मानवीय भावना के विजय को दर्शाता है, उससे मैं गौरवान्वित और प्रेरित हूँ। मैं आपके बहादुरी पूर्वजों, विशेष रूप से गिरमिटिया अप्रवासियों को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करती हूँ, जिन्होंने कठिन परिस्थितियों के बावजूद परिश्रम, बलिदान और धैर्य से इस देश का निर्माण किया। मैं आपके दूरदर्शी राष्ट्र निर्माताओं का नमन करती हूँ, जिन्होंने यहाँ की अर्थव्यवस्था को एक मॉरिशियन मिरेकल बना दिया, जो न केवल अफ्रीका बल्कि पूरे विश्व को प्रेरित करता है।
Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud of and profoundly inspired by the extraordinary triumph of the human spirit that Mauritius represents. I pay homage to your brave ancestors who came from India, especially the Girmitia indentured laborers who built this country with their toil, sacrifices, and fortitude in the face of the worst adversities. I salute your visionary leaders who steered the destiny of the Mauritian economy, transforming it into a Mauritian miracle that inspires not only Africa but the entire world.
एक स्वतंत्र राष्ट्र के रूप में 56 वर्षों की छोटी सी अवधि में मॉरिशस एक अग्रणी लोकतंत्र, बहुलवाद का प्रतीक, एक समृद्ध देश, एक प्रतिष्ठित अंतर्राष्ट्रीय वित्तीय केंद्र, संपूर्ण पर्यटन स्थल और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात, दुनिया के सबसे सुरक्षित और शांतिपूर्ण देशों में से एक के रूप में उभरा है।
In a short span of 56 years as an independent nation, Mauritius has emerged as a leading democracy, a beacon of pluralism, a prosperous economy, an international financial center of repute, a thriving tourist destination, and most importantly, one of the safest and most peaceful countries in the world.
हम सभी भारतीयों को आपकी असाधारण उपलब्धियों पर गर्व है। हमें मॉरिशस में अपने भाइयों और बहनों की सफलताओं से खुशी मिलती है, क्योंकि हम राष्ट्र निर्माण की अपनी यात्रा में एक साथ चले हैं। हमारी नीति एक दूसरे के साथ तब जुड़े जो 3 शताब्दियों से भी पहले भारतीयों ने यहाँ कदम रखा। उसके बाद हमारे दोनों देशों के स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन के दौरान हमने एकजुट होकर आज़ादी के लिए एक दूसरे के प्रेरित किया। इस तरह हमारा खून का रिश्ता दिल का रिश्ता बन गया।
We in India take great pride in your extraordinary achievements. We are happy to see the success of our Mauritian brothers and sisters, because in many ways we have undertaken this journey of nation building together. Our destinies were first intertwined when the first Indians landed here more than 3 centuries ago. We went on to inspire each other during our freedom struggles. And so our khoon ka rishta became a dil ka rishta.
इसलिए इसमें कोई आश्चर्य की बात नहीं है कि स्वतंत्र मॉरिशस के संस्थापकों ने राष्ट्र के सबसे महत्वपूर्ण दिन स्वतंत्रता दिवस के लिए हमारे राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी को श्रद्धांजलि के रूप में 12 मार्च को चुना।
It is no surprise, therefore, that the founding fathers of independent Mauritius chose the 12th of March to mark the most important day for their nation, the Independence Day of Mauritius, as a tribute to the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi.
आज भी हमारा दोनों देश अच्छे और बुरे समय पे कंधों से कंधा मिलाकर खड़े हैं। पिछले कुछ दशकों में हमारा रिश्ता और मजबूत हुआ है, चाहे वो इंडियन ओशन को एक साथ सुरक्षित रखना हो या महामारी के दौरान हमारे कोविड वैक्सीन्स को साझा करना हो, विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग हो, हमारी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं और हमारे लोगों को जोड़ना हो, या वैश्विक मंचों पर एक दूसरे के साथ समर्थन करना हो।
To this day, our two countries continue to stand shoulder to shoulder through good times and bad. Our relationship has grown stronger over the last few decades, whether it is securing the shared waters of the Indian Ocean together or sharing our COVID vaccines during the pandemic, whether it is bolstering our capacities across sectors, connecting our economies and our people, or supporting one another in global platforms.
मेट्रो प्रोजेक्ट, नया ENT हॉस्पिटल, नया सुप्रीम कोर्ट भवन, 8 MW का सोलर पावर प्लांट और कोई अन्य भारत सहायता प्राप्त डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स मॉरिशस के विकास के लिए हमारी प्रतिबद्धता की प्रतीक है।
The metro project, the new ENT hospital, the new Supreme Court building, the 8 megawatt solar power plant, and the many other India-assisted development projects are visible symbols of India's commitment to support the well-being of all Mauritians.
पिछले जनवरी इंदौर में प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस में मॉरिशस के विशाल प्रतिनिधि मंडल की भागीदारी और भारतीय G20 प्रेसिडेंसी के तहत मॉरिशस का स्पेशल गेस्ट के रूप में भाग लेना इस बात को दर्शाता है।
The participation of a large Mauritian delegation at India's flagship diaspora event, the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas in Indore last January, and the participation of Mauritius as our special invitee during our G20 presidency are testimonies to this.
देवियों और स्वजनों, पिछले कुछ हफ्ते में हमारे 2 प्रधानमंत्रियों ने भारत और मॉरिशस में UPI और रुपे कार्ड प्रणाली शुरू की और उन्होंने ओगालेगा में 6 कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स, एक नई एयरस्ट्रिप और एक जेटी का भी उद्घाटन किया। मॉरिशस को कम दाम में उच्च गुणवत्ता वाली भारतीय जेनेरिक मेडिसिन्स की आपूर्ति के लिए एक नई स्कीम्स की घोषणा भी की है।
Ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, our 2 prime ministers launched UPI and the Rupee card settlement system in Mauritius. They also inaugurated a new airstrip and a jetty, along with 6 community development projects in Agalega. A new initiative to supply affordable, high-quality Indian generic medicines to Mauritius was also announced.
आने वाले दिनों में हम कई नई पहलों पर विचार कर रहे हैं, जैसे मॉरिशस के लिए संयुक्त रूप से विकसित सैटेलाइट लॉन्च करना और 200 क्लाइमेट फ्रेंडली इलेक्ट्रिक बसेस की आपूर्ति। इसके अलावा रूपी पोस्टल अकाउंट्स सुविधा हमारी अपनी मुद्राओं में द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को आगे बढ़ाएगा।
In the days ahead, we are looking at many new initiatives such as launching a jointly developed satellite for Mauritius and supplying 200 environment-friendly electric buses. In addition, the Rupee Vostro account facility will promote bilateral trade in our local currencies.
हमारे संबंधों में इतने तेज गति से प्रगति इसीलिए संभव है क्योंकि हमारे दोनों सरकारें एक दूसरे का प्राथमिकता देती है और इस रिश्ते में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। मैं प्रधानमंत्री प्रवीण जगन्नाथ जी के दृढ़ नेतृत्व और इस विशेष साझेदारी को गहरा करने के लिए उनकी सरकार द्वारा दिखाई गई प्रतिबद्धता की सराहना करती हूँ।
The impressive pace of progress in our ties has been made possible due to the governments of our countries according primacy to one another and investing in this relationship. I extend my special appreciation to Prime Minister Pravin Kumar Jagnnath ji for his steadfast leadership and the commitment shown by his government to deepening this special partnership.
जिस खून के रिश्ते का उल्लेख कर मैंने थोड़े देर पहले किया, उस संदर्भ में मुझे आप सबको ये बताते हुए अत्यंत प्रसन्नता हो रही है कि भारत सरकार ने एक विशेष प्रावधान को मंजूरी दी है, जिसके तहत आप भारतीय मूल के 7वीं पीढ़ी के मॉरिशस के नागरिक भी ओवरसीज सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया यानी OCI कार्ड के पात्र होंगे। इससे कोई युवा मॉरिशसवासी भी भारत के प्रवासी नागरिक बन सकेंगे और उन्हें अपने पूर्वजों की भूमि के साथ पुनः जुड़ने का अवसर मिलेगा।
In the context of the Khoon Ka Rishta that I mentioned earlier, I have great pleasure in informing you all that my government has just approved a special provision under which 7th generation Mauritians of Indian origin will also be eligible for the Overseas Citizens of India card, the OCI card. This will enable many younger Mauritians of Indian origin to become overseas citizens of India and to reconnect with the land of their ancestors.
अभी कुछ दिन पहले हमारी दोनों देशों के शिव भक्तों ने श्रद्धापूर्वक महाशिवरात्रि मनाई। आज मुझे ये घोषणा करते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि मेरी सरकार पवित्र गंगा तालाब परिसर के धार्मिक, सांस्कृतिक और पर्यटन केंद्रों के रूप में पुनर्विकास के लिए मॉरिशस सरकार के साथ काम करेगी। ये निर्णय हमारी साझा सांस्कृतिक मूल्यों के लिए भारत में गहरे सम्मान को दर्शाता है। मुझे विश्वास है कि इस परियोजना में हमारा सहयोग हमारी दोनों देशों के लोगों के बीच जुड़ाव को और गहरा करेगा।
Excellency, just a few days ago, the Shiv Bhakts of both our countries celebrated Mahashivratri with great devotion. I am pleased to announce today that my government will support the government of Mauritius in the redevelopment of the sacred Ganga Talao complex into a religious, cultural and touristic hub. This decision reflects the deep respect in India for our shared cultural values. I am confident that our cooperation in this project shall further deepen the strong people-to-people connect between our two countries.
जैसे जैसे भारत एक विकसित देश और अग्रणी वैश्विक शक्ति बनने के दिशा में अपनी अमृतकाल यात्रा में आगे बढ़ रहा है, हम मॉरिशस जैसी करीबी सहयोगियों को साथ लेकर चलना जारी रखेंगे। भारत वसुधैव कुटुंबकम और सर्वजन सुखिनो भवन्तु के अपने मूलभूत मूल्यों को ध्यान में रखते हुए वैश्विक शांति और समृद्धि के लिए स्रोत बना रहेगा।
As India proceeds on its Amrit Kal journey towards becoming a developed country and a leading global power, we will continue to walk hand in hand with close partners like Mauritius. India will continue to be a force for global peace and shared prosperity in keeping with its foundational values of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam and Sarvajan Sukhina Bhavantu.
देवियों और स्वजनों, कल 12 मार्च के ऐतिहासिक तारीख पर जब 8:30 मार्च में मॉरिशस का झंडा फहराया जाएगा और उसके साथ भारतीय तिरंगा लहराएगा, मैं प्रार्थना करूंगी कि हमारे ये विशेष संबंध फलते फूलते रहे।
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow on the historic date of 12th March, when I attend your National Day as chief guest, as the Mauritian flag is raised at the Champ de Mars with the Indian tricolour fluttering alongside, I will pray that our special ties continue to flourish in the times to come.
इन शब्दों के साथ महामहिम देवियों और स्वजनों, आइए हम सब मिलकर मॉरिशस गणराज्य के प्रधानमंत्री श्री और श्रीमती कविता जगन्नाथ के अच्छे स्वास्थ्य और कल्याण, मॉरिशस के लोगों की निरंतर प्रगति और समृद्धि और भारत और मॉरिशस के बीच स्थायी मित्रता के लिए अपनी शुभकामनाएं व्यक्त करें। जय हिंद, वे मॉरिस। धन्यवाद।
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite you to join me in expressing our very best wishes for the health and well-being of the Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius and Mrs. Kobita Jagannath, the continued success, prosperity and happiness of the Mauritian people, and the everlasting friendship between India and Mauritius. Jai Hind, Vive Maurice, thank you.
C'était donc le banquet d'État organisé par le couple premier ministériel en l'honneur de la présidente indienne Draupadi Murmu, banquet que vous venez de suivre en direct de Balaklava.